see how much you want it when he drops and when it's
Yeah, man. Tough fought, but it was good.
Good job, Ben. Good job. Good job. Taking that last one off, Ben.
Throw your work and smotherings. Don't give him the room.
Time! Well done, lads. Good work.
I didn't even realise. Come down here just to chat to you because you've got an absolute cracking story.
Yeah.
That boxing throws up all the times, which we're going to go to. But this weekend, I think it's on Friday, you're going to be fighting on the Gariboo show in conjunction with VIP, and you're going to be fighting Adam Hague.
Adam Hague, yeah.
Another prospect.
Another prospect. He's got a decent record as well.
Very good record.
14 fights, maybe 1 loss, 1 draw. So he's.
Well, it's a technical draw. He got a clash of heads. It was his last fight out, I think.
Oh, the Tackle Yard, was it? Is it
no. Can't remember. It was some Nicaraguan guy or something like that. It was only just a little tick-over fight for him, and he had a clash of heads. But prior to that, he did look very dominant in that round, and because he couldn't continue, it was classed as a technical draw.
Yeah. Well, look, do you know what? I'm looking forward to it. As you see, I've just done 6 rounds down there, so it'll be probably that's my last spar.
With Sam Higgins?
Yeah, with Sam. He's a big lad. Do you know what I mean? And to be in there with someone who's won titles and, do you know what I mean, been at that sort of top level, it's good. It's good learning. You won't get no better learning than that.
No, and you're a guy who's having to learn fast.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
We'll finish on a note on about the fight later on Friday, but let's just go right back, because this is what I was talking about, boxing throwing up great stories.
Yeah.
Just a little insight into where your life was, say, 4 or 5 years ago.
I think it was just, do you know what, since when I left school at 16, I just sort of went down the wrong path. It's easily done, do you know what I mean? Started to go into raves and sort of taking substances and that, and it just ended up, some people stopped there, but for me, I carried on, do you know what I mean, to the extremes, and I think that shows in my personality. And boxing's been, do you know what I mean, I enjoy the boxing, but I never like, my story's no different to anybody else. Everybody's got demons that they fight, do you know what I mean? Whether it be, do you know what I mean, food or sort of depression, or whether they're going, do you know what I mean, anxiety, whatever. So my story, I don't like to talk about it that much, because it's I've done it for me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people overcome stuff every day. So just because, do you know what I mean?
Okay then, let's quit all that. You're in a real low.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the turning point? When and why did you now end up where you are now in this place?
Do you know what? Being around the right people. Do you know what I mean? Some great lads down at Smoking Joe's, and sort of started doing a bit of boxing, and just sort of, do you know what I mean, got into the recovery community, and it's just took it from there. Do you know what I mean?
How many years ago was that?
I'd say about four years ago now. So I never walked into a boxing gym until about 4 years ago.
And then so you never boxed amateur?
No.
You had what, 10 white collar
collars, yeah, in quite quick succession. I think we had them in the first year, 18 months. And most of them was away, to be fair. I think I've done 2 shows with tickets, and then fighting away. And on the white collar shows, sometimes you get a phone call on the afternoon. But what's time in the pros?
I was going to open with a line, you know, Ben Fields, show saver and old taker, because you seem to be saving a lot of our shows and taking young prospect holes.
Do you know what? I love being up there. I do. I like the coming up north and getting on them shows, and thanks to Steve Woods for having me on the shows, and all the lads up there. Yeah, and do you know what? It's like you go around in backstage and talking to people, and do you know what I mean? It's nice that bit of familiarity and sort of.
What's good about you now, and I think a lot of our followers on VIP now know who you are,
Yeah.
and they now know that when you're on the card,
Yeah.
they're in for at least one really good fight.
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
I hope so.
Well,
It's
I
nice.
don't think you're just a test now, because that's what you used to be. You were a test to see if
Yeah.
our kids were ready for a little bit of a step up. But now, actually, we have to make sure they're ready,
Yeah.
because you are that step up now.
Well, it's nice. It's nice to be talked about like that, and I appreciate anyone who, do you know what I mean? Because it's not all game boxing, as you know. Do you know what I mean? So when anyone shows a bit of appreciation for what you're doing and sort of the time you're putting in the gym, even though we don't do you know what I mean? It's a tough game. So to have a little bit of a, not a name, but some sort of recognition for when I get in there and I get to do put it all on the line.
You're still learning.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
If you had 6, 7 and 2, so what's that, 9, 15 fights?
15 fights, yeah.
16 fight coming up.
Yeah.
They've all been in fairly quick succession
Yeah,
as well.
definitely.
I remember I seen you first picking up your 3rd win, which was the first time you fought on our show.
James Collins. Was it James Collins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one, yeah.
And then like you say, you've been coming through ours, and we've seen you get better and better and better.
Yeah.
Which has accumulated in your last 3 fights, where you've took 3 men's O's.
Yeah, definitely.
You've took a guy who's 9-0.
Yeah.
Then you got a draw, so you took his O from his draw, if you know what I mean. A guy who's highly tipped. I didn't know too much about him, but I know good people who talk highly of him.
Yeah.
And then is Sean Daly a local guy?
Yeah, he's a local, just not far from here. Do you know what I mean? Around the corner, probably about 20 minutes away. So.
And he'd done everything right as a professional, 8-0 at the
yeah,
time.
8-0. So they built it as a sort of fought on the Tommy Owens show, and it was sort of built as a 50-50, and it was nice because I had a few people there. Do you know what I mean? A few family and friends. I'm not.
Is that growing now then? Is your fan base growing? Because you've got a style that.
Yeah.
If you like fighting,
yeah,
you've got to like your style.
Yeah, and I think a few people come up to me after the fight and said, "Let me know next time you fight, you know, get a table or get a ticket." So that was nice, and because the selling tickets is just as hard. The fighting bit's quite easy. Do you know what I mean? Relatively, but all that selling the tickets and that could be the hard work. Do you know what I mean? And
but that might have to be a case for you soon, because if you're going to be fighting and beating these prospects, and you beat a couple more, then surely you're going to get their opportunity, which is to fight for the title.
Well, I'd hope so. Do you know what I mean? I think, like you say, I've learnt on the job, and sort of. There's a few losses, there's a few good wins, and there's a couple of draws, and do you know what? It's just I take each fight as it comes. So I know that I'm in with a good lad at the end of the week, and he's probably 15 or 16 fights in. So I'm at that level. Do you know what I mean? So
is at a stage now where he's 1 or 2 fights away from. He wants titles, and you're a stepping stone for him.
Yeah.
Now, you're a hard stepping stone for anyone now, and if you keep doing what you're doing, how are you going to keep finding work?
Well, you know what, it's not about, honestly, if it's not the game to stay in,
So you've changed it now, so when you started, it was about getting a bit of money and
no, it was never about that. It was never about the money. I think people think that, do you know what, because you're a professional boxer, you get paid and all of this.
No, I know that, but even young professional fighters think that's what it's all about early on, then you find out it's not.
No, that was never in my mind. It was sort of, I enjoy the discipline of it, do you know what I mean? And I like pushing myself, sort of that addictive personality, what we touched on in the beginning, that is.
So you had a negative one and now you turned it into a positive one?
Turned it into a positive, and I'm at uni as well, so that's going well. So
what are you doing at uni?
Youth work, youth and community work, so hopefully one day, do you know what I mean, maybe I can open up a gym, little amateur gym, or work in a youth club and just try and help a few of the young people, do you know what I mean? They relate to me, they relate to my story, and they sort of, whenever I'm talking to them, I sort of...
you can talk to them on their level, can't you?
Yeah, on that level, and do you know what I mean? So, yeah, the future's looking good. Outside of boxing, do you know what I mean? Boxing, you can't put all your eggs in boxing. No. Do you know what I mean? And it's not for some lads, obviously, it's a career, but I've never thought of it that way. It's more
but it could be, though. You keep winning, it could be.
Yeah, but I struggle to picture it. Do you know what I mean? Every time I get in there, it's sort of.
Well, look, you've just been sparring there with Sam Higginson, former European champion.
Yeah.
Right, you know, would you have dreamt that 3 years ago that you're sharing a ring? They think you was good enough to move around with him?
No, definitely not. I used to sit at home and watch the Sky Sports shows and all. Do you know what I mean? Because I got a little bit of watching the boxing and sort of, and then I went down to the gym, done a bit of white collar, and it was from there. Do you know what I mean? So I used to see the lads that I'm jumping sparring with now. I used to look at them on the telly and think, do you know what I mean? It's sort of half idolise them.
And now you've been on telly, and you won.
And I won. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Was it funny because I was in the Aldi at 1 o'clock on that afternoon, doing a bit of shopping, and I got the phone call. Do you want to kind of garden's opponent's dropped out? And I thought, yeah, man, get me up there. Do you know what I mean? Because it was a nice card to be on. And do you know what? He's a great boxer, and he'll go on. I hope we get to do a third one somewhere down the line. Whether do you know what I mean?
Well, I do, because I hope if that does happen, then there'll be something on the line for whoever wins.
And I think he's a cracking lad. I've seen his interviews and that, and do you know what? I'm not one of them that needs. Some fighters that need to hate the fighter to beat them, or they need that animosity. I'm not like that. Do you know what I mean? I'll get in there and do you know what I mean? I'll shake your hand as we're walking into the ring if you want. But as soon as that bell goes and you're trying to hit me in the face, it's on.
Isn't it?
Do you know
what I mean? You get punched in the face. That's when I always think reality hits. And oh yeah. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. So any of the boxers, you know what I mean? Anyone who I've beat or they've beat me, there's no animosity. We're all going for the same thing.
If you're going forward, you're going to start moving up in rounds.
Hopefully, yeah.
I literally, I do think you're dangerous for anyone over 4 rounds. But as you're proving, that's not just the case now, because your last fight you beat a good kid over 6 rounds, on points. So do you feel the longer rounds will suit you, because you've got a very aggressive style, but you've not got the stoppages that match your style, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think. Do you know, I think the longer rounds will suit me, because even when I'm not throwing, if I'm, do you know what I mean, closing down the opponent, taking them on the gloves, that's wearing them out just as much. Do you know what I mean? That sort of pressure, throwing the odd shot here, throwing, do you know what I mean, the odd hook going to the body, and that's what we're trying to work on now. Go in the body, go in the head, and sort of, you can only learn.
Well, I've seen improvements from when you started to where you are now. Do you feel there's more to come from you?
I'd say so, definitely. I'd like to think so. Do you know what I mean? I think in anything in life, if you put the graft in, and do you know what I mean, you put the, and put your graft and put your energy into it, you'll get what you want. Do you know what I mean? It's not that I want anything. Do you know what I mean? Eventually, I'll reach my level and I'll say, do you know what? Alright, do you know what I mean? And that's it. I was never meant to be there in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
What's interesting is finding out what that level is.
Yeah, so that's why.
None of us know.
No, so I could have, do you know what I mean? Maybe just tried to turn up and, do you know what I mean? But I thought, you know what? Let's see. I've got a couple of wins, and I thought, let's see. You know what I mean? Let's see how good I am, because I'd never be able to live with myself. Because you know,
every name on your record, but you started, like you say, brightly with 3 wins.
Yeah.
And then you fought, like you say, numerous occasions on our shows. Every kid that you fought on our show is a very good kid.
Yeah.
You know, Keith Fears, Jake James, Muhammad Ali. These are all people that are tipped by other people who are knowledgeable in boxing to go a long way.
Yeah.
And gave everyone a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. And I think sometimes it can be harder for those lads, you know, if they've got the expectation. Whereas with me, do you know what I mean? There's
but as you keep winning, will that expectation of winning and people beginning to expect that you're going to win, will that become a burden? Or because Sam, who you've just been sparring with, he's very blasé about things. He doesn't let anything frustrate him or get into his head. Yeah. He just gets on with it, and you seem to be a bit similar yourself. You know, a fight is a fight is a fight. End of story.
I think it goes down to what sort of character you are and your mentality. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot. Boxing is just as much mental as it is physical. Do you know what I mean? Regulating yourself, and a lot of the, do you know what I mean? Great trainers back in the day, obviously they've said that, and I think that it is. I've sort of, even if there is a bit of expectation, it's sort of it's how you deal with that. Do you know what I mean? There's no.
Well, he's not on present, but he's gonna come.
Yeah, that's
so
what I mean.
We're gonna see how you handle it.
So hopefully, I'd like to think that I'm that sort of person that can sort of. I'm just happy to be in there, happy to have. Do you know what I mean? I enjoy fighting, and I hope.
And now you get paid to do it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I'm going to be fortunate. I'm going to be down there filming you and Adam Hague on Friday.
Yeah.
I know Adam really well.
Yeah.
And again, very similar styles. You know, he's a come forward fighter, very aggressive fighter. I think his ring name is the Hitman, and he throws some good body shots in there. Tends not to take a step backwards.
Okay.
You tend not to take a step backwards.
No, of course not.
So I think we could be in for fireworks on Friday night.
Definitely.
You could steal the show again.
Well, do you know what? That's what I get in there, give it my all, and however it transpires on the night, I think. Do you know what I mean? I've had a little look of him on YouTube, even though I don't tend to that much, and he seems to come and have it. So it'll be a good fight. Most definitely.
Win or lose. Every time you've been on our show, people have gone home talking about you, mate.
Yeah.
So you know that's a good thing. That's what you want. So if they want to watch a good, is it going to be 6 rounds?
6 rounds, yeah.
Yeah, well, if they want to watch a good 6 rounds of action, like I think I could have sold that because that fight there with Sam is great. It's just non-stop action and no give from either of you.
Yeah.
So good luck for Friday.
Thanks for coming down.
Adam's not one of our fighters, but he's fought on our shows all the time,
yeah.
so he's like that. So I wish you both the best of luck.
Yeah, man, nice one.
And may the best man win.
Yeah, and I'll see you all up there on Saturday, and thanks for coming down, Lee. You know, all the stuff you do for the boxing in the background for the lads, do you know what I mean? It's not, people think professional boxing.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes people deserve it, don't they? And you know, when you're on the road gaining the wins like you're doing, the hard way, nothing's given to you.
No, of course not.
When you do get one, then I believe that then it's my right to have a little chat with you. And,
yeah, man.
You know, and like I say, you've been a breath of fresh air on the VIP shows over the last 18 months. So thank you very much. Look forward to seeing you on Friday, mate.
Friday,
yeah, the best man win.
Sorted, nice one.
Take care. Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.